Socialism, it's destroying America. Yes, I'm here to tell you it's time to wake up and fight for freedom. I was born under a socialist regime in Romania, a socialist regime who promised heaven and deliver hell. I know socialists intimately. I know socialists not from the textbook, not from a debate, not from a teacher that will teach in college in the United States of America about socialists, but from living under socialists in communist and socialist and communist Romania. I lived it. I fought against, I survived, and by the grace of God, I fought against and I won. And I am here to tell you, socialism is not for America. Socialism is destroying America. Time to wake up and fight for freedom. I did not come to America for a better economy. I came for freedom. And that is at stake today in America. I am Virginia Prodan, and I'm the host of Courageous Leadership with Virginia Prodan. I'm so glad to be here and to ask us questions, and I'm here to answer your question. Why socialists will destroy America? I grew up in socialist and communist in Romania under dictator Nicolae Ceaușescu and his regime. I defended religious freedom and human rights cases, and for that reason, I was declared an enemy of the state. I have gratitude for freedom, but my deep concern is seeing America adopting, or some of the Americans being open to socialism, not even knowing what socialism is all about, being brainwashed and hoping and believing that the socialist government will give them everything, not even appreciating the freedom that we have in America. Let me tell you what socialist is, what socialism really is. It's a common misconception that socialist cares for poor. That's not true. The reality is socialist is a state control of property, businesses that will not exist. The government will be in business of everything, or education. There's not freedom of speech and not freedom of religion either. I hope you remember Karl Marx, who said socialists start, and the first battlefield is the rewriting of history. And you had seen in some of the past years how this rewriting of history is playing a role in America and American history. Many talk about socialists as it sounds compassionate, but I am telling you, it ends in coercion. Socialists always promise equality, but provides tyranny. Take it from me, I lived under, and I know and I understand. Under socialists, the government becomes your God, and if you don't accept it, you will be in jail, you will disappear, you will be killed, not only you, but your entire family. And even people that accept replacing God, Jesus Christ, with the government will become puppets, prisoners in government's hands. There is a cost when you adopt socialism. My life under socialist regime is an example. In fact, For some of you that don't know, I would love for you to read my memoir, Saving My Assassin. It was published by Tyndale House Publisher. You can find it at virginiaprodanbooks.com/product/book. It is an absolutely amazing book, an opportunity for you to understand the reality of the socialists, and also the fact that God can use one person. He uses me defending Christian and human rights cases to change a regime from socialist and communist to a democratic country. So if you stand up and fight against socialists in America, God can use you as a tool in his hands to keep freedom in America. Defending Christians and human rights cases in Romania, in socialist Romania, was not easy. The government labeled me as an enemy of the state. I was interrogated, beaten, tortured, placed under house arrest, and I came within seconds of being killed as the government sent a client to my office. He was in fact an assassin with a sure mission to kill me. But by the grace of God, I shared the gospel with him and he accepted Christ. I hope, again, you will read my memoir, Saving My Assassin. You find it at virginiaprodanbooks.com/product/book, because you will understand the power of God. And as I share the gospel with him, he not only accepted Christ, but years later, he came to Dallas, Texas, where God moved me, and asked me to let him, as a brother in Christ, write a chapter in my book. And you can read a chapter in my book. In fact, it's so powerful because he explained to all of us how, as a young person, he believed in socialists and how socialists transformed him into a monster. In order to raise up in the grades of socialists and please the elite of socialists, he had to perform horrible crimes, go to people's houses and plant documents and things that will incriminate them, and later on he will go and kill those people. But also how God, as he accepted Christ in my office in Romania, changed his life and brought him to the reality of freedom in Christ. So I hope that you will read the book and you will be encouraged that your life is important, and you can be used by God to fight for freedom in America and keep America free. Under socialists, there is no freedom of speech or freedom of press. Speaking the truth labeled you as a hate speech. And you had seen in America today that we have situation in some states where Christians are considered and punished, and some of them even put in jail for talking about God created men and women, that we don't create ourselves because we don't like that. Today we are a man and we consider ourselves a woman tomorrow and so forth. That God created a family, a mother and father, husband and wife. And for that reason, in many states, those speaking the truth was considered hate speech. If you don't believe that socialism is already in America, wake up. There is, and it's time for us to fight. In socialist and communist Romania, my phone at my office at home was supervised. Every word was recorded. Have you seen this in America? It's another sign that socialist is here in America. In socialist in Romania, our children were taught lies. And if they express the truth, they were punished, and their parents were punished. We were told not to share the gospel, not even at home with our children. Think about what people in college and university are exposed to and how they were taught to fight against what the parents told them about Christianity. In socialist Romania, not freedom of economic freedom existed. You hear candidates now in America saying that the government should own everything. Just in socialist, where I came from, Romania, that they will own not only corporation, but everything about food, about television, and so forth. I am telling you, when government owns everything, we had food lines for hours. Many times people will stay in line for hours from maybe 4 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock next day, sleeping on the street, hoping that the government will bring some food tomorrow. Shortages was so common. We have ration cards. We had a number of eggs or milk per month. That's when socialism comes to power. Yes, we work, but we were not rewarded for that, only controlled by the government. I want you to remember one thing, that when the government supposed to give you everything, the government is empowered to take everything from you. Take it from me. I live under socialists, and that's what the socialist and communist government did in Romania. In America, there is a deception of compassionate socialists that, the liberals, the Democrats will create a democratic socialist or equity policy. That's a lie. Really is a lie. Yes, socialist wears a new face in America. Oh, we're gonna forgive student loans. We give you free health care and housing and so forth. No, that is no truth. In fact, what the government will do will confiscate your house, and the elite will pick and choose the best house in town to be their own houses. And you will be forced to live somewhere else. Behind every government gift of healthcare and housing and all those things, there is a chain to keep you as a slave. Socialists create deception. Dependency on the government destroys initiative, creativity, and punishes excellence. Socialism always begins with promises and create prison or prisons. I believe that socialists and communists in Romania, it was. Actually, I lived under a land of lies and a prison land. Socialist does not feed the poor, uses the poor so the elite can create more power for themselves. Socialist is not compatible with the American spirit. The Constitution was created that we, the people, create a government with a limited power. In fact, the words of the Constitution said, we, the people. It doesn't say with the government. America was built on faith and freedom. The Declaration of Independence points to God-given freedom, not government-given freedom. The American dreams, it's about opportunities, not equal outcome. Socialist promises fairness, but destroys freedom and responsibility and creates you a dependent and a puppet in government's hands. You cannot love both freedom and socialism. One will always destroy the others. Socialists will destroy freedom. There are warnings of socialists present here in America. One is freedom speech is being censored. Government is expanding its power in the name of safety. Now, there is no safety under the government's power. Churches are afraid of preaching the truth. Pastors are intimidated, just the way it happened in socialist and communist Romania. It's time for us to wake up and fight for freedom. Children are taught ideology over identity in Christ and Constitution, that they are whoever they want, and they kind of sell them freedom in order to make them slaves of the government. It's a lie. The media and the academic pushes socialist thought as a virtue. It's a prison land. Don't wait to find out. Take it from me. But fighting for socialists is now being or loving socialists. And what I fought against socialists in Romania, it's being embraced here in America, and it breaks my heart. What happens when we trade freedom for security of safety? Benjamin Franklin said it so clear. Those who would give up essential liberty to pursue a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. And it's so true. Socialism thrives in fear and crisis, offers control of the elite as a solution to submit you and me to their power. If you fear hardship more than you love freedom, you are just embracing tyranny. The question is, how can we fight back and preserve freedom? Maybe you want to think about this, and some of them send me letters and questions about this. One is, you have to know the truth. The Constitution, the history of America, rejection and propaganda, and know that the truth, Jesus Christ, is the one who gives us freedom. Number two, it's speak the truth. Truth is courageous and contagious. So instead of fear, be courageous and speak the truth. Don't whisper the truth. Speak boldly. Live the truth of Jesus Christ. Teach your children. Support the minds of leaders that are ready to speak the truth and associate with them. Stand up even when it's uncomfortable. Silence its agreement with socialist government and ideology and the elite. Your courage are needed today more than you can ever imagine. And it's necessary. It's time for us individually, corporations, churches, groups to wake up and realize that socialism is spreading in America and will destroy America. I'm not warning you, and I'm not telling you that I hate the socialists. I don't like it, to be honest. I like freedom, but I am here because I love freedom, and I want to tell you that it's time for us to recognize the spreading of socialists in America and the need for us to stand up and fight. I want you to reflect one more time and read my memoir, Saving My Assassin. I wrote it with you in mind to show you what socialists can do and how socialists can destroy a country, but also how God can use one person, like He used me, to save Romania and change Romania from socialist to democratic country, and how God can use you, and be encouraged by my memoir that God can use you to fight for freedom in America. We are at the crossroad in America. We need to stand up. We can redeem in God's power America. Refuse to be naive and to say, oh, it will never happen. Socialists will never come to America. It's already here. It's time for us to stand up. If you don't stand up, you may kneel tomorrow or later, but not to God, but to a socialist government. America, socialist is not your destiny. Freedom is your destiny, but only if you will wake up and fight against socialists in America. My call to action is this: educate yourself and others about socialists and fight against socialists. Engage with your local, state, and national leaders and be part of the fight against socialists. Do not wait until someone else, your representative or other people, will do that. You start fighting against socialists. Encourage courage, be courageous and encourage courage. You will be amazed how others will be encouraged by your courage. Endure when you are oppressed, when you are threatened, because you speak the truth. Elevate the truth above comfort. God will use you for His glory, and He will do amazing things in you, in your family, in your company, in your community, and in America to preserve freedom. The future of America depends on you and me, not on politicians only, but on patriots like you and me. Freedom and the future of America as a free country depends on people like you who will believe that freedom is worth fighting for and even worth dying for. If you do not have the power to do it for yourself, do it for your children, because we receive freedom in America and we enjoy freedom in America so far, even though the socialist is spreading so fast in America because others fought against socialists and limiting freedom in America. It's time for us to wake up and to fight against socialists in America. I'm so glad you asked me this question, and I hope you will take some of the actions that I explained to you. You will learn more about socialists. If you feel free to contact us, we are here to help you. And we are here to encourage you in any way possible. Tell us what type of actions you adopted. Share this podcast with others, that others might be involved and encouraged to do what is right. Invite me to speak at your group. I will be more than happy to speak to your group. You'll find out that I am really tiny. I'm under 5 feet tall. But in God's power, it does not matter who you are, how tall you are, what you have or what you don't have. God will use you for His glory. I'm here to help you, and I'm here to hear from you how God uses you, what you need, and more. Until next time, God bless you, and remember, socialists is destroying America. Wake up, fight for freedom, now and for generations to come. God bless you. Bye-bye.